there's another chunk of us who legitimately have so much pride that we don't want to let people see us fall. So much pride that we don't want people to see us struggle. We want to always be seen in a positive light. We're embarrassed by the fact that we need help. We think that needing help is a form of weakness, when in reality, you getting help and admitting that you need help is a huge form of strength. What's going on, world? And welcome back to the Pursuit of the Good Life podcast, your favorite podcast that helps you grow both personally and professionally. I'm your host with the most, your favorite coach, the Kameron Lovelace, helping you create your version of the good life every single Thursday. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I am recording this in the 9th hour, literally at the late night hour at the last minute. Getting you guys a podcast episode because I got to keep this weekly streak going every single Thursday. So I'm in here and it's late at night and I'm sitting here recording it for you. So that's my mindset right now. That's how I'm doing. I'm a little tired. It's been a long day. I had a couple things going on for the last couple of days. So I'm not burning on fumes. But I'm grinding through to make sure that this episode gets out because, I'm a little tired. But I'm going to make sure that you guys get this episode in. But without further ado, before we jump into the episode, I have to say, shout out to my wife. Why? Because my wife, I don't know if you guys have a wife or a spouse that can cook. That can cook real good, right? But the thing about Sparkle is that when she is trying to bring something new into like our palates, right? When she's trying to come up with like a new recipe or whatever, she doesn't really do from scratch, which I used to kind of knock her for because I'm like, you a Pinterest chef. You just get on Pinterest and you follow a recipe and then you figure it out. You don't deviate from the recipe. You don't know how to throw combinations and make up your own recipe. I used to get on her about that. But this week, she really outdid herself. Y'all ever heard of a Rasta Pasta? A Rasta Pasta is it's an angel hair pasta with Alfredo, chicken, shrimp, sausages. We use turkey sausages, but you can use whatever sausages you want. Throw some bell peppers in there and jerk seasoning. And I tried this first. I first tried this Rasta Pasta on my birthday earlier this year at one of my favorite restaurants here in Memphis. Shout out to Old Venice. But I tried the Rasta Pasta there. And she was making the attempt to recreate it because, we like to shake things up a bit, try a new recipe here and there. And she tried her hand at this Rasta Pasta. And when I tell you, she was able to make this Rasta Pasta taste dang near exactly like the restaurant. She killed it. So, first I had to get a big shout out to my wife for that Rasta Pasta and complete home run when it comes to this dish, and we still nibbling on it today. We about to finish it off. We got to make something else, so we got to see. But that aside, let's go ahead and get into the podcast episode this week, because it like other episodes, it comes from a place of my clients and kind of what's going on this week. And y'all know how this usually goes. I'm having a conversation with my clients. We're talking, And it kind of begs the question, this conversation really begs the question, when is the time to ask for help? Like when do you say when and say, yo, I'm struggling and I need help? Like I need some real help. Like I'm struggling mentally, I'm struggling physically, and I'm life is kind of beat life is kind of beating me down right now, and I need help, right? But here's the thing, there's a nice chunk of us who really struggle with asking for help. Like for as long as I can remember, I've encountered people who really just struggle with saying, "Hey, I need help mentally. I need help financially. I need help physically. Like I'm not good. I'm not in a good place and I need help." People would rather look themselves in the face while they're struggling and say, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to suffer in silence. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to, with no energy, with no motivation, I'm just going to sit here and continue to just go downhill, right? And a lot of my clients this week, well, I won't say a lot, a few of my clients this week really came forward and really like started to admit to themselves, like, yo, I'm not good. I need some help. But there are many people, and keep in mind, like some of my clients are like young. The ones that came forward were like the younger clients on the younger end. But I know so many older people who really don't know how to ask for help. Like really just sit here and say like, yo, I'm struggling. Like even me, like I had to look myself in the face and like with me late at night overthinking. I wouldn't go as far as say anxiety, but me late at night thinking about this, being overwhelmed with that. Like really, real deal. Like I won't say struggling, but really anguish, like mentally. I had to look and say, you know what? I need to go in my prayer closet real quick. I need to talk with my wife about this. I need to digest this a little bit more, right? And so you have to be able to look yourself in the face and say like you're not good. Like how many of us can really say that I want my version of the good life? I'm willing to grind for the good life, but I'm not in a space where I'm willing to accept help. Like real deal. Like look at your past history. Look at you when you were struggling, when you were in school, when you got out of school, when you were in this relationship, when you were in that relationship, when stuff happened with your family, when stuff happened at your job. How many times have you really sat there and said, "Yo, I need some help"? And I don't know if that's a pride issue or it's an issue where you've never been able to depend on people. Oh yeah, I went there today. Yeah, I went there. I got in my therapy bag because there are some of you who literally like your experience from childhood to adolescence to adulthood, you have constantly sought help or you've asked for help, and you're holding on to those early memories of when you really asked somebody for help, but they failed you, and then you project those feelings, those emotions, that disappointment on the people that you can depend on. But because of those memories, you choose not to. There's a nice chunk of us like that. A nice, large chunk. There's another chunk of us who legitimately have so much pride that we don't want to let people see us fall. So much pride that we don't want people to see us struggle. We want to always be seen in a positive light. We're embarrassed by the fact that we need help. We think that needing help is a form of weakness, when in reality, you getting help and admitting that you need help is a huge form of strength. What if I could show you exactly what's holding you back from reaching your greatest potential? What if I could help you see the most effective areas in your life that you should be spending the most time in instead of wasting it in all these other areas? What if I could help make your most intimate relationships even better? Would that interest you? Well, then, my friend, I would like to welcome you into the jungle. The W2J program is designed to help you grow not just professionally, but personally as well. You're not only going to get a customized 22-page report that's going to show you what animal you are, your secret superpower, your weaknesses, your ideal environment to be most effective, your communication style. It's going to show you it all. But I'm going to spend an hour with you so that you can implement it into your life immediately. So what are you waiting for? Click the link below this video, go to the website, and schedule your assessment and your appointment today. And now, back to the show. I've said this before, like part of being self-aware is knowing what you are good at and knowing what you're not good at. And when you find something that you're not good at, you find somebody that is good at it and get their help with it so that you can keep moving forward, right? And one of my clients, like I said, struggling mentally, not going to put their business out there, but realistically, if they hadn't said something in this session, they would have been in a really, really bad position. Right? And so the thing is, she knows that she was struggling with this for the last couple months, but just chose not to say anything until they were sitting in my office. Of course, I'm going to ask the right question. I'm going to provide the right environment for you to really talk about what's going on. But not everyone has that opportunity to unpack, or let me not say that. They don't take the opportunities to unpack, to really dive in and acknowledge, like, yo, I had a lot going on. Like I got some struggles going on. Like me, I noticed the end of last week that my feet was hurting, right? And I deduced that the reason that my feet were hurting was because for not last week, but the week before last, for 4 straight days, I was standing on my feet for 3 hours straight. So that's 12 hours of me just standing, flat-footed, training young kids. The following Monday, I stood another 3 hours training staff. Not to mention, I started picking back up my workouts more consistently, which meant that it's more high intensity interval training, which means that it's a lot of jumping, it's a lot of movement. So I had a lot of pressure on my feet, and I'm looking crazy, like, yo, my feet is hurting. But I didn't notice the actions leading up to all this pressure that I was putting on my feet. And that's how needing help can be too, because we start dealing with certain things. Life throws some things at us. We deal with it here. But there's another thing, the daily grind that we're used to doing, and then the surprises happen, and then the circumstances happen, and thing over here and thing over there. And then we look up and we're like, yo, how did I get so mentally drained? How did I get so physically tired? How did I get in this place that I'm at? And we have to reflect and say, like, oh, I've been going 120 for the last 8 days straight. I haven't been getting sleep consistently for the last 5 days. I haven't been getting all the healthy meals that I need to be getting for the last 2 weeks. I didn't get here overnight, right? And so I think if you start to just take a step back, I want you, if you're listening to this, I want you to take a step back and really think about, okay, how am I really checking in? How am I? Take inventory of yourself. Am I tired? Am I mentally drained? Am I having a hard time focusing? Am I emotionally unstable? Do I find myself being easily triggered? Am I struggling with my business right now? Am I having a tough time financially? Like, really look yourself in the mirror, check inventory, and see, like, how are you doing? And then I want you to see how you got there. Like, reflect over the last couple of days, last couple of weeks. Like, how did we get here? Like, why am I only getting this amount of sleep? Why am I so tired? Why am I struggling in all these areas? When's the last time I prayed? When's the last time I hung out with people that I love? When is the last time that I listened to a comedy special? When is the last time that, I went for a walk? When is the last time I worked out? When are all of these things happening? Like, check inventory over the last couple weeks and see, like, how did I get in this funk? Like, realistically. And then I want you to realistically ask for help. Ask for help. What you talking about, Kameron? I'm talking about find somebody who can help you in the areas that you need help in. Mentally, might need to go see a therapist. Physically, might need to go to your doctor. Might need to get a personal trainer. Spiritually, might need to go to church. Might need to go on YouTube, look up your favorite pastor's sermon. Might need to open up your Bible. Might need to read a new book, listen to some podcasts, do all of the things. But it's got to come from somebody outside of you. Because when we get in our funks, we have a tendency to feel that we can't talk about it. Or we talk about it to ourselves so much that we start to believe the crazy thoughts. Like, we start to believe that we're not good enough. We start to think that, you know what, I'll just never be successful in these areas. I'm always going to be struggling in these areas. And we need that outside voice that's outside of our own head, that's outside of our spirit, to tell us, no, you're going to be all right. How can I help you? How can I support you in this time? Who are those people that you can truly say they have your back? They might not be able to take the load off of you, but they can be there to support you through this load. They can give you a place of rest. They can give you a place of comfort. Who are those people in your life? Are they your parents, aunts, uncles, grandparents, spouses, best friends, coworkers, church group? Who are these people that you can really go to in your time of need? I want to encourage you to go do that, because the year is far, far, far from over. And there's so many things that you can do. But I definitely want to acknowledge the fact that we might not be okay. You personally may not be okay. Like, the world is trying to get us to move forward in this pandemic. The world is trying to force us to stay open. The world is trying to force us to get back to normal. But you might not be there yet. You might need to take a break. You might need to say, you know what? I'm not good. And if I don't take ownership and say, you know what? I'm going to take a break and I'm going to come back and go harder. Because what you don't want to do is to crash and burn. And when we burn out, that's when we have a tendency to miss out on things. And then it takes us a long time to get the engine going again. So I implore you on this Thursday morning, afternoon, whenever you listen to this, I want you to take stock. I want you to take inventory. I want you to look in the mirror and say, you know what? How am I really doing in this August of 2021? It's been 8 strong months. But maybe it hasn't all been good. Maybe I'm not where I want to be right now. And that's okay. One of the most famous things that I say in my therapy sessions are, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be good. And a lot of us have to learn to listen to that and at the same time not let that be it. So after you're finished taking in inventory, I want you to reflect. I want you to see how you got here. Like, look back and see how far this rabbit hole really goes down. Like, is life just been hitting me the last 8 months? Has life been hitting me the last 2 years, 8 years? How long have I really been affected in this space if I'm not okay? And who can I turn to start turning the ship in the right direction? Even if it's just talking about it. Talking about how hard it is to a therapist, to your best friend, to your closest family member who will just listen and tell you it's going to be okay. We're going to get through this. Don't know how, but we're going to get through this. It's my challenge to you today is that it's okay to be okay. And I want you to help. And I want you to ask for help. You don't have to suffer in silence. All right, y'all. That's the show for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed that. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on iTunes, do me a huge favor and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening to this. If you're listening to this, do me another huge favor and give us that 5-star review. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button and comment your favorite part and share this with somebody who really needs this. All right, guys. Y'all know how we're doing. We're doing this every single Thursday, helping you create your version of good life. Until then, we'll see you next week.